Hello all and welcome to the next video. Back again with Dark Souls. We have Knight of Astora Oscar. The infamous Oscar. If you've even played just a fraction of the beginning of Dark Souls, then you know who Oscar is. Yeah, so we already took a look at the Farum Knight, which was awesome. We took a look at the Black Knight, which was weirdly, I don't want to say disappointing, but just threw me off with the amount of like gold tinge on it. Like it looks way better on my shelf now that I'm looking at it, but that threw me off at the start, man. I don't know what's up with that. I think they could have done more with like kind of darkening all the gold and maybe taking a little bit out of it. But now we have Knight of Astora Oscar. I bought this off my cousin. I couldn't find Oscar for the life of me. I don't know why. When it first came out, it sold out pretty quick on Big Bad Toy Store. I remember that. Couldn't find it on Bluefin. I couldn't find it anywhere. And my cousin had it a couple years ago. Or not a couple, about a year ago, I think now. He was like, hey man, you want it? He had it displayed for a while. He kept the box. He was like, you want it? I was like, sure. He sold it to me for base price, thankfully. So I didn't get overcharged. And yeah. So now I have an Oscar. I don't know where he stored this box because it is beat to hell. But yeah, he gave it to me for a good price. So he gave it to me for the base price. I didn't have to overpay, so I'm cool with that. But yeah, Oscar. Probably one of the best things about Oscar is his armor. That it's basically the elite knight armor. And that to me is kind of the I don't want to say the most iconic, but it's definitely one of the more popular armors in like all of Dark Souls. Even all the way into like Dark Souls 3, you'll find people wearing this armor. But yeah, it's a great armor set. Tragic Oscar. But yeah, I mean, again, another one of those Dark Souls 1 characters that are just even though Oscar doesn't have the biggest, I mean, he plays like a big role when you think about it. Like what he does sets everything in motion for your player. But in the grand scheme of things, he's very kind of insignificant because of what happens right like after that. But, you know, he's Oscar. So, hey. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this guy open. He's already open. Because my cousin just threw him back in the box, gave him to me. He had the other ones. He has the Black Knight, the Farum Knight. He has Artorias. This was the only one I couldn't find at the time, so that's why it's the only one I got from him. I wish I had known he was going to get rid of them sooner. Then I wouldn't have had to have kind of overpaid on the Artorias. Because that's the only one I had to get, like, kind of used online, and I did overpay for it a little bit, I think. There we go. How does that go? Either way. So, he's got that same thing. He is number 4, which I guess means he's the last one. Which makes sense. He was the one I couldn't find. So, I guess that makes sense he's the last one. Which means Artorias was the second one. So it was Farum Knight, Artorias, Black Knight, Oscar. Get his accessories out. Oscar. Alright, first things first, we got the stand. You'll see why in a minute why the stand has no pegs. Woohoo. You'll see. He's got a very unique sculpt. Let me just put it that way. We got a shield. I love this blue, gold, and silver. You can't go wrong with it. It's got that right there in the back. I'll just put that in his hand and call it good. I like all the scuffs and everything on it. Looks great. We have his sword. Like all the detail, again, like all the scuffs and scratches. Like it's a used sword. Focus. I like it. The gold, the blue accents, everything. That's one thing about like Dark Souls armor, especially if you're going to be doing like the cosplay stuff and just dressing as a character. Not like you dress. I guess if you want to cosplay at a convention, cool. But like in game, just kind of doing a character. It's just like the crazy amount of options. And then we have Oscar. As you can see, Oscar is just like on his knees begging. And what I mean by he doesn't have pegs is that he's just like, he kind of sits there on his knees. He doesn't really go into any pegs. So his knife and his sword sheath are just molded in. Give him the sword in that hand, shield in this one. But everything about it, the blue, the gold, that kind of torn bits around his like collar. Even like the chain, like kind of feeling like a separate piece, but it's not. Yeah, so he'll just end up like that. There you go. He just sits on the thing. Just always remember, if you're going to pick him up, like at the base, take him off first, because he's not pegged in there like the Black Knight or the Farum Knight. So yeah, let's see if we can get his accessories in. Maybe? I'm trying to figure out how his... Yeah, I guess just like that, it just sits in his hand. The shield just kind of sits in his hand, like in place. I guess. Let's see if we can get the sword like that. Like it just kind of sits there. Let's see if we can get a sword in. I have a feeling the sword's going to be a little... No? So it's just going to go right in? Yeah, same thing. Trying to see. Yeah, there we go. I mean, they just kind of sit in his hand. It's not as, like, tight as the Farum Knight holding his stuff or the Black Knight holding his sword. It's pretty just, like, it kind of just sits there. So you gotta be careful about how you move this guy. The shield, not so much. The shield will kind of just sit wherever he's, like, lying. The sword is pretty loose, though. Yeah, see? So you want to make sure you got it, like, all the way in there. Otherwise, it might be a bit of a pain in the ass to kind of move around. But yeah, there is our Oscar. Knight of Astora. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. The shield doesn't bother me as much. The sword being as lucid as it is, kind of does. Like I said, I just hope that doesn't, like, over time fall out. I'm sure it will, and I'll have to fix it a bunch, but I mean, he looks pretty solid for what he is. So yeah. Oh, what did I just do? I like it. I think it's pretty good. I do wish the hand was a little tighter on the sword. But beyond that, I think this is a pretty good little statue. And I think he'll look good on the shelf. I'm going to put the Artorias up by the Sif. I know there's a big size difference, but screw it. And then I got on the second shelf, that's the top of the shelf. On the second shelf, I've got the Ferrum Knight. Oscar's going to go in the middle, and then the Black Knight will be on the other side. And then on the second shelf, technically, if you're looking at the layers, it'd be the third one. That's where I have Yorm. When I get it all set up, I'll take like a big picture. I'm leaving the bottom two shelves empty because I'm going to need room for Gravelord Nito when he gets here at some point. But yeah, there we go. Oscar, I like it. Like I said, my one little gripe is the hand, the sword that holds the sword. I just wish it was tighter. It wasn't as loose. But yeah, overall, really cool. I like it. I think it's a great addition to the collection, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. The next video will be the last of the Banpresto Dark Souls statues, and we're going to take a look at Artorias. So I'll catch you guys in that video.